The film opens with a heart-pounding chase scene, where a helicopter circles in the sky, searching for someone. The camera then focuses on a man named Ray, standing on the edge of a skyscraper rooftop. As the spotlight from the police shines on him, FBI officers begin to surround the area. One officer urges him to surrender and says it's all over. But Ray replies that it wasn't supposed to happen this way. He turns around and boldly jumps from the hundreds of meters high rooftop into the water below. Time rewinds far back, showing Ray hiking in the wilderness with his wife and child. They walk through a beautiful forest and set up a tent by the river. Their daughter, Rachel, falls asleep in her mother Amanda's arms, while Ray looks lovingly at Amanda.
I love you. Love you too.
In this warm moment of togetherness, tragedy strikes. Amanda is diagnosed with cancer for the second time and is rushed to the hospital. The doctor recommends a drug called Infirmum, but their family cannot afford it because of its high price. Days go by, and they continue trying to live happily. On Rachel's birthday, Amanda gives her a teddy bear named Paloma.
Here, Mommy.
Are they hers? Are these my memories?
Her name is Paloma. No, it's perfect.
In a sweet scene, Ray and Rachel train in the boxing ring, where Rachel cleverly outsmarts her father. At the hospital, the doctor shares news that the FDA is close to approving a new, cheaper drug called Sparrow, which has similar effects to Infirmum.
This is great news, Ray. We just got word.
Did you do this?
A very effective generic version of Infirmum called Sparrow.
Ray and Rachel are thrilled to hear this. But soon they learn that the drug is not yet available. When asked, the doctor says the launch has been delayed indefinitely due to bribes from Bioprime, the company that produces Infirmum.
Sorry. Infirmum paid the manufacturer to delay Sparrow's release. Pulled it off the market.
In a televised interview, Bioprime CEO, Simon Keeley, debates with a politician about the high cost of cancer treatment. Ray then calls into the show and directly confronts Keeley. He says his wife's life hangs in the balance because of Keeley's business policies and threatens to kill him if Amanda dies.
It's impossible to put a price on.
You've already taken everything from me! If my wife dies, it's your death sentence.
Cancer is still very often a death sentence.
After that, Ray is seen comforting a weakening Amanda. Rachel tries to soothe her mother by singing a gentle song, but it doesn't work. In his sorrow, Ray walks aimlessly through the hospital corridor, until he finally collapses in tears as Amanda takes her last breath.
What? What?
6 months pass. Ray returns to training in the boxing ring, but grief is still etched on his face. When he comes home, he is greeted by a pile of unpaid bills. Rachel tells him not to worry about them. During a light-hearted conversation, Ray receives a call from Martin Bennett, a journalist from Vice. Martin says he is investigating Bioprime and other major corporations involved in corruption, and that Amanda's death could be a key part of his report. He asks Ray to meet him in 20 minutes. Ray asks Rachel to stay home and goes to the subway station. There, Martin calls him into the train. But unexpectedly, Rachel has followed him and also boards the train. They get off at the next station, and Ray finally meets Martin. Martin explains the bribes and offshore accounts owned by Simon Keeley and says that with Ray's testimony, they could imprison Keeley and the others for good. Ray asks for time to consider. Meanwhile, Rachel secretly listens in on their conversation. Suddenly, a mysterious man appears and stabs Martin, killing him instantly. The man then attacks Ray and beats him brutally in front of a terrified Rachel. Ray manages to retaliate with a hard punch and throws the attacker out the window, but the killer strikes back. Rachel tries to help but is thrown out the door just as the train stops. Wounded, Ray fights back again, then rushes after Rachel. However, the attacker stabs Ray in the side and throws him out the window. Ray and Rachel exchange glances from the platform floor before both fall unconscious. Two years pass. Rachel is now training in boxing with intense fire. She fights without hesitation, nearly choking an opponent who has already surrendered.
Yeah, control him, let's go. Just like your dad. You got it, lock it in. He's tapping, Rachel.
Meanwhile, we are introduced to Diana Morgan, a politician working with Simon Keeley and Vinod Shah, head of BioPrime, in drafting bipartisan legislation. Rachel wakes up and talks to Ray about Amanda. Ray walks to the corner of the room where the wall is covered with notes and investigation evidence. He focuses on a UNICEF charity auction where Simon Keeley is scheduled to be the keynote speaker.
BioPrime CEO Simon Keeley and Chairman Vinod Shah, we are creating a strategic partnership. Finally, many of BioPrime's breakthrough treatments.
How long I'll take? Yes, sir.
That night, important guests gather at the event venue. Ray also arrives and sneaks in through the back door, disguised as a catering server. As Simon takes the stage to give his speech, Ray discreetly places an out-of-order sign on the men's restroom and enters the main hall just as Simon finishes. He throws a drink onto Simon's body and quickly flees. An annoyed Simon heads to the restroom with his bodyguard, but the guard is attacked and killed with a fire extinguisher. Ray bursts in and stabs Simon in the neck. He reminds him of the threat he made when Amanda died and asks about Martin Bennett's murder. Simon dodges at first but eventually names Vinod Shah. During the conversation, one of Simon's guards attacks Ray, and a fight breaks out. Ray defeats them both and forces Simon to shoot one of his own guards. After a fierce struggle for the weapon, Ray kills Simon by suffocating him with a plastic bag. Back home, Ray asks Rachel to pack up, explaining that he had no choice but to kill them.
Go back!
People are gonna come after us, aren't they?
Whoever it was said they warned him. All made her suffer, I don't know. I mean, all what? All who? They said they'd come for Mr. Keeley if anything happened to the...
At the crime scene, the FBI interviews a security guard who overheard a conversation about a woman and a murder threat. Agent Sarah Meeker orders a review of all threats made against Simon Keeley. Meanwhile, Ray and Rachel drive toward Toronto via a deserted road. The FBI identifies Ray Cooper as the man who once threatened Keeley on live TV and also tracks his car. Sarah immediately orders a tracker to be installed and sends the car info to two hitmen.
Let's put an APB out on Cooper's vehicle. All made her suffer?
Right. Her name is Amanda Cooper. Died at Carnegie Medical a few years back. How do you want to handle this? We got the ID on the driver.
Ray and Rachel arrive at a motel. While Ray unloads the car, he tells Rachel to go to the room. But Rachel secretly calls Sarah from a payphone and tells her everything, insisting her father is innocent. Sarah gives her personal number and asks Rachel to call from an untraceable phone. Rachel hangs up before she can give the location. Ray enters the lobby and attaches a small bell to the door as a makeshift alarm. In the room, Rachel is angry at Ray's earlier treatment of her. When the assassins sneak into the motel, the bell alerts Ray, who wakes up immediately. He takes Rachel into the hallway and prepares to attack. Ray strangles the first hitman unconscious, then fights the second. He grabs an axe and enters the room, chased by the killer. He hides in a closet and, as the enemy approaches, launches a surprise attack that knocks him out the window onto a car. Ray finally kills him with the assassin's own weapon. He takes the gun and ammo and escapes. The FBI raids Ray's house and finds substantial evidence linking him to the murder. Sarah gets reports of the motel incident and Ray's escape. Meanwhile, Rachel remains upset but stays with Ray. Elsewhere, a hitman targets a van, kills the garage owner, steals a shotgun, and takes the van. Ray, sensing danger, decides to leave the main road and checks the killer's phones. He finds numerous calls from Vinod Shah and learns that Shah recently bought a property on the outskirts of Pittsburgh.
That's why I need to stop this. It needs to finish.
If they find us at the motel, they'll find us anywhere.
I have to go after Shaw.
Ray cuts down a tree near a bridge to block the tunnel. He also practices shooting in the woods, clearly inexperienced. Rachel contacts Sarah and expresses concern about Ray's changing behavior.
My dad, he's sparring with guys who could take a punch.
Can you tell me about it?
She was always looking out for me.
In control. You are Rachel Cooper. You are in control. Say your name.
Rachel Cooper.
Sarah tries to reassure her and says Rachel still has control. Rachel insists on joining Ray's mission, and after some debate, Ray finally agrees. Meanwhile, the hitman prepares modified bullets to make them more lethal. As night falls, Ray and Rachel surveil Shaw's house. By chance, they see the killer's van drive by as Shaw exits. Ray starts tailing the SUV convoy escorting Shaw. He scatters metal spikes on the road, causing one vehicle to stop. Ray then leads the cars into the blocked tunnel.
What's this guy doing?
This is Victor 1, we've got a flat tire.
As the SUVs stop, hindered by the tree, Ray emerges from the shadows. Shaw orders a retreat, but the rear SUV is crushed by a bulldozer. As Shaw's SUV is trapped by the fallen tree, the killer appears from the other side and opens fire. Shaw runs for safety while the killer sets the SUV ablaze.
Rachel, someone else is here. Stay in the car.
Ray confronts Shaw and demands to know who the true mastermind is, but Shaw only laughs and remains silent before being shot dead by the assassin. Ray and Rachel flee, but their car is shot and a tire is blown. They walk to a garage and steal a tow truck. On the road, they see the assassin's van parked outside a diner and decide to enter. Ray sits beside the killer and starts a conversation.
Shaw's dead.
Shaw didn't hire me. So you see, in this case, my contract is to take out anyone who can implicate my employer.
You tell me who hired you.
Diana Morgan. The person you're looking for.
It's revealed that Diana Morgan is the true mastermind who ordered the elimination of all witnesses and rivals. Before parting, the killer mentions Rachel's address, hinting he'll come after her next. The next morning, a worried Rachel can't stop thinking about the threat. Sarah receives reports of the stolen tow truck and orders traffic camera surveillance. That night, they detect the truck approaching the city. Police quickly pursue. Ray drives the truck through city streets, avoiding bridge traffic. He then abandons the truck and runs. The police chase him to a stadium, recreating the film's opening scene. On the rooftop, Ray stands at the edge, and Sarah urges him to surrender. But then a shocking twist is revealed. Ray had actually died on the train 2 years ago. Everything that's happened since was Rachel's doing. She was the one who killed Simon, fought the assassins, confronted Shaw, and spoke with the hitman. Now, it is she who stands on the roof.
He shouldn't have been killed.
We have a positive identification of the suspect. Her name is Rachel.
Rachel Cooper.
Rachel jumps into the sea, despite Sarah's attempt to stop her.
Her name is Rachel Cooper, 18 years of age. Both parents deceased.
She is rescued and brought to an ambulance, but regains consciousness and attacks the medics before escaping. She sits on a park bench, and Ray's shadow appears to comfort her. Rachel then attends Diana's speech and watches her closely.
To big business politics. Your next senator from the great state of Pennsylvania.
The killer reappears. Diana walks toward Congress, and Rachel manages to sneak inside. In an emotional scene, she wears Ray's jacket and heads to Diana's office.
Actually, it's mine.
There, she is attacked by the hitman and thrown out. During a fierce fight, Rachel is dragged into a fountain and nearly drowns. In a semi-conscious state, she hears Ray's voice encouraging her, calling her "sweet girl" and asking her to stay strong. With her last strength, Rachel turns the tide and stabs the killer repeatedly until the fountain fills with blood.
Calling the FBI.
You bring the FBI here, and who do you think they're going to arrest? I think the FBI is looking for you, Rachel.
She then confronts Diana, threatens her, and forces her to confess all her crimes, including collusion with Bioprime.
You were with Bioprime even then. Bennett, you killed my dad.
I took the bribe.
Was it worth it?
The candidate with the most money wins.
She leaves, having recorded the entire confession.
Pittsburgh police are asking anyone with information to please come.
I took the bribe. I ordered the hit.
After the recording reaches the FBI, Diana is arrested.
Unsolved murders of Martin Bennett and Rachel murders of Bioprime executive Simon.
Rachel finally finds peace. She buys a fake passport, converts her money to crypto, and boards a plane to an unknown city, starting a new life in an uncertain direction. In life, sometimes justice and truth feel far out of reach, especially when power and greed cloud human conscience. But amid all the loss and suffering, the courage to fight for truth and protect the ones we love is a true strength that can change the world. Sweet Girl teaches us that even when pain and despair eat away at the heart, nothing is more valuable than hope and the determination to keep fighting, not just for oneself, but for the justice every human being deserves. Because in the end, love and courage are what give life its meaning, and assure us that goodness will always find its way, even when hidden behind the darkness of hardship. If you enjoyed this video, don't be shy, hit the like button, and if you disliked it, hit the dislike button twice just to be sure. You should watch the full movie. Thank you very much for watching.